Good afternoon, colleagues and all attendees. My name is Lawrence Asani from the RCD Research Capacity Development Unit, and I will be your moderator for today's workshop. Can I just get a hands up to show that I'm audible enough from everyone? Am I audible enough? Okay, so just to begin the session, I would like to let everybody know that this session will be recorded, and all the material and all the recordings will be uploaded on the model communities. And before I begin the session, I would like to go over a few housekeeping rules. And to begin with, I'd like to say, please note that the recorded video and workshop slides will be uploaded on the module communities by the end of this week. If you have any question during the workshop, feel free to use the question and answer and chat function or raise your hand. I will unmute your mic and I will indicate to the presenter to address your question. A feedback survey will be sent during the session on the chat session, and we will like to please request for you to fill out so that we gain insight on whether this workshop was useful and how we can improve in the future, as well as provide some kind words for the facilitator for their hard work. So without further ado, I would like to read over Dr. Anesu Uhuzai bio. So Dr. Anesu just completed a PhD in medical sciences, applied statistical models to medical research from the University of Antwerp in Belgium. 4 journal articles were published from his PhD work in high impact journals. Some of the articles have been indexed in the Web of Sciences Group, the world's most trusted publisher, neutral, global, and citation database. He is a registered chartered statistician and one of the directors of the Institute of Certificated and Chartered Statistician of South Africa, ICCSSA. He is a detail-oriented statistical data science consultant with extensive hands-on experience acquired within private companies and top-tier academic institutions in South Africa, Zimbabwe, UK, and China, renowned for in-depth knowledge and the application of statistical and machine learning techniques. Have assisted in 1,500 postgraduate students from honors and postdoctoral level, and staff researchers engaged in multidiscipline of research with quantitative research design, data analysis, and interpretation of statistical results to enhance research output and publication. So without further ado, please let me introduce Dr. Anesu, who will be our facilitator for today's workshop. You may proceed, Dr. Anesu.
Okay, thank you so much. Yes, today our session is mainly about introducing you to STATKON, which is the Statistical Consultation Department at University of Johannesburg, where I'm working from. So I'm going to share my screen so that I go over the material which I think you may need to know about STATKON. So the first thing is we aim to provide a professional, outcomes-based statistical consultation services to postgraduate students and researchers at UJ in respect of quantitative research, which means research methodology, questionnaire design, and statistical analysis. So the reason why quantitative research is written in bold here is because we don't assist with qualitative research. We don't assist with qualitative research. Okay, so we aim to help you, postgraduates and researchers at UJ. Then, in doing so, there are stages which normally a quantitative research process undergoes. For example, stage 1 is mainly to formulate your research problem. Stage 2, design the study. Stage 3, design sampling strategy. Stage 4, collect data. Stage 5, analyze and interpret data. Stage 6, report results. Okay, so in helping to describe these stages which we assist with, especially when the quantitative research process is going, I will present another document, which is this one, whereby the first thing which we do is to receive what we call deliverables from client or from clients. So what normally happens here is you send us an email to statcon@uj.ac.za asking for our services. And in that email, you attach your approved research proposal, your research questionnaire, if you are planning to collect your data using a questionnaire or questionnaires. Then you can also email some published journal articles and other useful research material which you think it can help us to understand your study. So in terms of the published journal articles, sometimes you've got a methodology or you've got some kind of analysis which you may think you want to use in your studies, and you want us maybe to follow that kind of analysis which was done in that journal article. This normally happens, especially for master studies and also for UJ researchers who would want to publish some articles, especially lecturers, docs, and professors who would want to enhance their research publications. Sometimes they come saying, no, they want to do this analysis or they want to follow this research which was performed in this study. So all that material, we request it before you engage with us. So once that email has been sent to STATKON, we do have a help desk. They are responsible now to distribute your project to one of our consultants. We are only 4, so it will be channeled to one of us. Then once it has been channeled to one of us, we will get into what we call a consultation phase. The consultation phase is whereby we give you feedback once we have reviewed your proposal, questionnaire, and the other material which we have provided to us. So we're going to read your proposal, we're going to read your research questionnaire, and any other material which we have provided to us. Then from there, we give you feedback. Once the feedback has been given during the consultation phase, it depends with that kind of feedback. Sometimes that feedback will inform us to get into what we call a research design phase, whereby we may need to assist you to design measurable research questions and research objectives. So when we say research to design measurable research questions and research objectives, it means when you are doing a quantitative study or you are doing a mixed method study, then you want our assistance as statisticians. You need to have measurable research questions and research objectives. What that means is, once I read your research question or research objective, I need to immediately come up with a statistical technique which can help address that particular research question or research objective. So if your research questions and objectives are not measurable, it means they are not good enough for the quantitative data analysis. So if we are doing a mixed methods study, it then means that among your objectives, you need to have objectives which are going to be analyzed quantitatively and qualitatively. So for those which needs to be analyzed quantitatively, it then means that those kind of objectives need to be measurable as well. And you also need to indicate to us to say, among my objectives, these are the objectives which are meant to measure or tackle the quantitative part of your research, so that we can check if they are measurable or not. Then some studies do have or do include some statistical hypotheses. So also check whether your statistical hypotheses are also measurable. If not, we'll also assist you to design measurable statistical hypotheses. Then, since your questionnaire, for those ones who wants to use the questionnaire, will be using a questionnaire as a tool to collect data for your study, we also have to check whether your questionnaire is measurable such that it can align itself with the objectives or research questions. Then it can also be measurable. We'll also have to check that. Then at the end of the day, we also need to check whether your research questionnaire and research objectives are aligned. Another thing which we also assist with is the calculation of the estimated sample size of your study. Then, lastly but not least, we then process what we call a data analysis plan. So a data analysis plan will be a list of statistical techniques which are meant to address the research objectives of your study. So which then means that for each research objective or research question, we need to then make sure that we assign or we align it with a statistical technique. Then altogether, all the statistical techniques meant to meet the research objectives of your study will be in a document called a data analysis plan. So that data analysis plan will then inform you to say, these are the techniques which you are going to use to analyze your data once it's collected. And you can use that data analysis plan to inform your methodology chapter. Once that has been done, we finalize the research questionnaire with you. In case of those people who may not use the research questionnaire, who would want to use maybe secondary data, or who would want to do some experiments and obtain their data via lab experiments, would need a list of variables which are going to be included or measured in the study. Then we analyze whether those variables are they categorical or they are continuous. For those variables which are categorical, what are they? For the variables which are continuous, what are they? How are we going to use those variables to meet the research objectives of your study? So we need that information so that we can able to help you with the related data analysis plan. Before we move on into that, we also make sure we also encourage you that once you formulate your topic, I'm sorry to go back a little bit in the formulation of topics. We also encourage you that once you formulate a topic, before you spend much of your time designing a research proposal, you need to investigate how you are going to conduct your data collection process. Whether do you have approximately enough respondents to distribute your questionnaire to, or to carry out your secondary data analysis with. Because the main problem which you are facing as statisticians right now is when you come to us and we are calculating the sample size for you, then we say, for this analysis, we expect us to have so many participants. That's when you are going to start to say, no, my population has got only 20 people or 30 people. So if your population has got only 20 or 30 people, it's most likely that all of them, they're not going to answer your questionnaire, or they're not going to participate in the research. Hence, maybe only 10 or 15 people are going to participate. And for quantitative data analysis, normally a sample size of 15 or 20 is very, very, very small. So it may not be enough. So it's very important that once you think of a topic, think of data collection process immediately. For the past few months, I've been meeting many researchers who are becoming stuck when it comes to the process of data collection because they don't have enough people or enough participants to participate. So it's very important that once you think of a topic, think of the data collection process. Otherwise, it will delay your process in completing your studies because you're not going to get enough participants. So if you see that your participants, there are very few, better go the qualitative route. Because with qualitative, the moment when you interview 10 or 15 people, that's a lot and that's enough. So just make sure of that. So once the research design phase have been done, we then encourage you to distribute your questionnaires to a sample of participants who mirror the actual people or the actual participants who would want to distribute to during the main study. So we normally call it pilot study. That is, especially if your questionnaire is newly designed, we normally encourage that to happen. So a sample of pilot study, we normally encourage you to distribute your questionnaire to 30 participants. Then we assist you with the pilot study. So the pilot study process involves us assisting you create in what we call an SPSS data file for data capturing of the pilot study, data cleaning and analysis of the pilot study, and design the research questionnaire for the main study in cases where problems have been identified during the pilot study. So you can then see that the pilot study will assist us to identify some problems which might be related to your questionnaire. Then those problems, we can then resolve them so that your questionnaire for the main study is almost perfect. Then we'll then distribute the questionnaire for the main study. So when you are distributing the questionnaire for the main study, you then distribute it to the recommended sample size, which we have agreed to. Then once that has been distributed, then you give us your data back. Then we assist you again in cleaning it, analysis, and analyze it according to the agreed analysis plan during the research design phase. Then from there, we'll ask you to write your chapter. So sometimes where you do not understand the analysis which we have performed, we can assist you with one or two feedback meetings whereby we assist you in interpreting the data and aligning it to your objectives. Then you can be able to write. We do not assist with reviewing of the data analysis chapter because mainly that's mainly done by the supervisor or by your supervisor. So these are the stages which are mainly involved when you are doing a quantitative research process or quantitative research design. Whilst I'm there, before I move on, I think I can entertain some questions or comments.
Yes, Prof. Sorry, Doc. There is a question. I see there's a hand that is raised here by Primrose. Let me just allow her mic so that she may speak. You may speak, Primrose.
Okay, I'm saying sorry. I wasn't raising my hand. I think something went wrong somewhere. I'm sorry for that.
Okay, no problem, no problem, no problem.
Okay.
Okay. So if there's any question, you may raise your hand or you may type the question in the chat box and I'll indicate it to Doctor. There's no questions, Doctor, at this point, so we may proceed.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Okay, so I've gone through all these steps. So these steps kind of explained in detail in this document, which the document is going to be shared with you after this session. The RCD guys will share with you this document. Okay. There is also an issue of training for research, like what I'm doing right now, in which we also help as STATKON. We also assist with some of these courses. For example, questionnaire design, descriptive statistics, sort of inferential statistics will also help you. However, when you do quantitative research, we also encourage you to get more of these courses, maybe from your department or from us via the postgraduate center. Then you then see that in this document, those stages which are listed above, they're explained in detail here. So I will skip all of this. I will skip all of this because you are going to go through them when the document is shared with you. And I had already explained some of them. So I will move on to this part. Yeah, so statistical consultant services does facilitate assistance with research design, questionnaire design, sample design and sample size determination, capturing of questionnaires, data cleaning and editing. Then there are also some of these points which I would want to share with you. So we also conduct appropriate statistical analysis to answer the research questions where we do not have experience of an advanced or rare statistical procedure and do not have the time to research on it and or resources to run the procedure. We will attempt to put the researcher in contact with someone who can assist him or her. So what we are explaining here is, yes, we are statisticians or data scientists by profession, but the field of quantitative research or quantitative designs and methods is very, very broad. So sometimes you may bring some methods which you'd want us to assist you with, and maybe we do not have the capacity or we do not have the appropriate knowledge to help you with. So what we can only do is to strive to look for someone outside STATKON who may assist you to be able to do that particular analysis. And surely some of those people, they may charge you some amount of money. So you need to be contented to say we are not experts in everything. So some of you, when you come to us, I know you'll be expecting us to help you fully, but sometimes we may not have the capacity. So that's something which you need to know. We also provide assistance with the interpretation of the statistical results. Depending on capacity and other commitments, we provide assistance with the graphical display of data. Also, we provide electronic copies of the output from the data analysis. So normally, the main software which we use is SPSS. So from there, we derive some output files with the results. And those are the output files which we then send you to use for your data analysis chapter writing. And for you to open those files, normally you also need to install SPSS into your computer so that you can be able to view them. It's the same thing, like, for example, we send you a PDF document and you do not have Acrobat Reader on your laptop or computer, then you may not be able to read that document. So the same thing, if we send you the SPSS output files, for you to be able to read them, you also need to have SPSS installed in your laptop. SPSS is available on your link. However, in case you find some difficulties in installing it, here at STATKON, we do assist helping researchers and students in installing SPSS. So you can also ask us to assist you with the installation of SPSS. Statistical Consultation Services does not act as a supervisor or co-supervisor for any student. Does not liaise with a supervisor on behalf of a student. We do not conduct consultations via email or the telephone. We don't design questionnaires for the researcher. We don't collect data for you except via online survey method. So here we do have license for one of the online collecting platforms. So if you don't want to use Google Forms, you can ask us to use that. Then we can collect for you, but for a certain fee. Then also, when you bring your questionnaires, we expect you to code those questionnaires. We call it pre-coding. That's the reason why here we said we do not assist with code responses. So we expect you to have pre-coded your questionnaire when you bring it for us. Then also, we don't write or we don't report findings for you. Also, we do not analyze open-ended questions because they are mainly qualitative in nature. Then, statistical consultation services cannot take responsibility for ethical issues related to a study, including the securing or storage of your questionnaires. So once a student or a researcher collect data in form of questionnaires, we expect you to keep your questionnaires for the next 5 years. If you're a student 5 years after graduation, if you were aiming to publish a paper, also 5 years after publication. So, and we expect you to store those questionnaires at a very safe place in the comfort of your homes. We do not store those questionnaires on your behalf. Also, we don't take responsibility to validate the data collected by you, because some of you guys, you don't collect the data honestly. You just sit under the tree, you mark the questionnaires. Then later on, you come back to us and you say you've collected data. Then by the time we are doing analysis, the analysis won't come out nicely or correctly, or because it wasn't collected properly. Then also, we don't take responsibility of the statistical correctness of results as reported by a student as well. So the way you write your results, the way you report your results, we don't take responsibility of that. So those are some of the points which you need to take note of. Then, in terms of contacting us, this is our main number, 011-559-2851, and this is our email address. Then the consultants who assist you guys are the following: Dr. Richard David Jacqueline de Klerk. Then, unfortunately, we no longer have Juliana van Staden. She has been replaced by Dr. Tebo Gomloi. Then in myself here, and these are the related phone numbers and the related email addresses. Then our office is based at Chislehurst House, which is 20 Chislehurst Avenue, Auckland Park, and this is our website. Then below here, we've got our map. Then we've got the useful hints, which you may also need to know here. The hints are the following. It is not compulsory for you to consult with us if you are using a tried and tested instrument and your supervisor has a lot of quantitative research experience. You may not need to consult with us. So that's another hint. However, in most instances, it will probably benefit you to consult So you consult STATKON at the onset of the study when you've got a very good idea about what questions you're asking, the population and the sample. You have a draft data collection instrument for review. So it's very important that you come to us at the beginning of your research before you collect your data. Very, very, very important. Because there are certain studies which will end up saying, okay, you need to redesign the questionnaire and go back to the field because maybe you didn't design the dependent variable of the study. So, which then means that you need to redesign the questionnaire and include the dependent variable of the study. Then you go back to collect data. So it's very important that before you collect data, you come to us, then we assist you. Appointments are scheduled and data sets analyzed on a first come, first served basis. Allow for up to a 3-week waiting period for an appointment. Allow for up to a 3-week waiting period to receive first feedback after submission of questionnaires or data. So this is very important, this duration of waiting, because we receive a lot of projects from various researchers across the 9 faculties. I'm not sure 8 or 9 faculties of the University of Johannesburg and other departments as well. So we are very, very busy people, such that we don't encourage you to come to us when you are in a rush of getting help from us and collect data as fast as possible. You need to plan your journey of research nicely, such that by the time you come to us, you are not rushing, so that we can be able to assist you. Then also, supervisor attendance at your first consultation is strongly recommended. It's very, very important that when you contact us, you inform your supervisor that you are now contacting us, such that by the time we first meet, the first consultation meeting, your supervisor may attend, so that we discuss the project together and we assist each other to assist you as a researcher. So it's very, very important for a supervisor to attend, especially the first consultation meeting. So basically, in brief, that's what we do as STATKON. And I can stop here and wait for any questions, contributions, comments. Yeah.
Somebody in the chat box asking, is this program for honors students as well? Since Doc mentioned only masters and doctorate.
Okay. We do assist honors to a certain extent. Yeah, to a certain extent, we do not. And normally honors students, normally when they do their projects, because of lack of supervisory capacity, we have seen that most of them, they do their research in groups. So if you come as a group 4 or 3 with your research, mostly we do assist. Yeah, but to a limited extent, honors to a limited extent, but we assist. Another question or comment? Oh, okay, I think there's a Joseph who is raising the hand.
Good afternoon, everyone. I just wanted to ask Doctor if he can probably assist me to answer one of the questions, because I've already collected my data for my study. But I'm kind of stuck about something. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, we can
Yeah.
hear you.
I don't know if doctor can assist me to answer this question because I've already collected my data, because I actually wanted to find out the impact of a professional development program on the teacher's self-efficacy of teaching a particular topic. That means I have to collect data before the professional development program and after the professional development program. But now I use Richter scale item. When I was reading now from different sources, different articles, some authors are saying when you are dealing with Richter scale items, you can't use parametric test for you to determine the statistical difference between those, whatever you want to find out. But some are saying you can use them provided that the data met the requirement of, you do the normality test first of all. If you do the normality test and the data meet the requirement, then you can use parametric test. Some are saying for Richter item, you don't use parametric at all, you use non-parametric test. Now I'm confused, I just don't know what to do.
Okay, Mr. Joseph,
Yes.
if I'm hearing you correctly,
Yes.
you have done a pre-post kind of study, right?
Yes.
Okay. And how many questionnaires or how many participants are involved in your study?
There are 63.
Okay. So what then happens is, remember when I was introducing ourselves, I had already said we normally encourage you to come to us before you collect the data. But anyway, in your case, you have already collected the data.
Yes.
So you need to send an email to statcon@uj.ac.za explaining that you need data analysis assistance and you have already collected the data. You need to indicate that. Then in your email, you need to attach your proposal. You need to attach the data if you've already captured it. If you haven't, you have to indicate that you haven't captured the data. Then you wait for them to assign a consultant to you. Then that consultant will assist you doing the analysis.
Okay. Thank you, Doc.
Okay, you're welcome.
There is another question, Doc, in the chat box. So the student is asking if will the honor students be allowed to continue with this program? He says my research is not done in groups; it's individual.
It's fine. What you can do is the same process happens. You send your proposal or questionnaire depending on whether you are likely to use a questionnaire or you are likely to use secondary data. Then you send your email to STATKON. Then they will allocate a statistical consultant for you. Then he or she will be assisted.
Okay. There is another question in the chat box. It says, can you assist if one has performed their own statistical analysis with only needing some review of how the analysis was done?
Okay, we don't normally help with reviewing. We don't.
Okay. And there is another question again in the chat box. Says, what about staff members doing postgraduate diploma qualifications? Can they consult individually?
Okay, the staff members, are they registered with UJ?
I would like to think so. I think they are.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, registered with UJ.
Okay, if you are registered with UJ, yes, you can follow the same process. You send an email to us, we'll allocate you a consultant, then we'll help you.
Okay.
Thank you.
what we don't assist is staff members who are studying, of course, but they are registered with other universities. Unfortunately, we don't assist.
There is another question. It says, how long is the SPSS key valid? Also, what happens when I change my laptop? Can we reinstall SPSS on my new laptop?
Okay, right now the SPSS key which we have is expiring end of March 2025. So we can help in that regard. But we don't normally encourage any issue of changing laptops here and there, or coming to us with a laptop which doesn't belong to you. Maybe you've just borrowed that laptop from a friend or from a family member. Then later on you come again and you say, now I have my laptop. That one which we installed SPSS last time, it was belonging from a friend or from a relative. Now I now have my own laptop. The reason being, we do have limited licenses to be issued to postgraduates and staff for 1 year. So yeah, our licenses are limited. But anyway, we can assist.
There is another question. It says, hi Doc, thank you for a nice presentation. I just wanted to find out if I have come to your offices to get the SPSS installed, or you can just share the link to install via email. I'm close to coding my data. I have about 240 participants, 60 from each selected municipalities. It is a PhD level.
Okay. As far as I'm concerned, the SPSS itself is available on Ulink. So you can visit your Ulink platform, download the SPSS from there and install it. You can only come to us for assistance if that process is becoming difficult for you. Then you can come to us for assistance. Otherwise, it is available on Ulink.
Okay. There is another question in the chat box. It says, thank you for the presentation, Dr. Nancy. I wanted to find out the difference between correlation coefficient and correlation of determining R2 when it is suitable to use either.
Okay, you can only obtain correlation coefficient once you analyze the relationship between two continuous variables. That's a bivariate relationship, that one. And you make sure that you are using continuous variables. Then the output which you get by analyzing the relationship between two continuous variables, you get what you call a correlation coefficient. That's your R. But the coefficient of determination, R squared, you can only get it when you run a regression equation. For example, a simple linear regression or a multiple linear regression. And normally the R squared, or the coefficient of determination, will account how the independent variables of your study are measuring the dependent variable. So if, let's say, your R squared is 0.46, it means that dependent variable, 46% of the variance of the dependent variable is being accounted by the independent variables in your study. So R squared, or the coefficient of determination, we get it after running a regression equation or a regression model, whereas correlation coefficient, we get it from running a correlation analysis. Thank you. Next.
We have a hand up from Joseph and Success. You may unmute and speak.
Okay, thank you very much. I just wanted to get some clarity on 2 points. the doctor said that they, or naturally, they would not assist with the review of of the results or the chapter of the results. But I wanted to know as to probably what would it, because my thinking is every other supervisor would review and guide and approve every step of the research. And is there a particular reason as to why that services would be excluded? And then the other point is that it relates to costs, because I heard he said when you want to do an online survey with there's a platform that they use, and then but it comes at a cost. I just needed to know, is all other services for as long as you are registered with UJ and studying at UJ free, or is there other costs somewhere where one incurs? Thank you.
Okay, basically, we are not supervisors. I think I've also mentioned it in my presentation that we are not supervisors, or we are not co-supervisors. So we do not engage in reviewing of write-ups. So yeah, I think I've also mentioned to say we are very, very busy people, and I think you've seen the stages which I've explained in helping you guys. Some of those stages, especially research design, depending on the complexity of the design and the understanding of the student or the researcher, sometimes we even meet you or meet someone 10 times and someone is failing to understand. And it means we are stuck on one stage with one researcher. And some are coming at different intervals, some are coming at feedback, some are coming at pilot study, some are coming at main study, some are coming, so we help you at different stages and you are many of you. So that stage of reviewing is not part of the deal. We expect your supervisors to handle that. Then, yes, the part of all those stages or all that analysis comes free of charge, except if you are doing an online survey with us, because that license which we use for that particular platform is also bought, so we'll be trying to recover the expenses of that. So yeah, that's why we charge that. Otherwise, the other assistance which we give is free of charge.
So Prof, Doc, there is another question in the chat box. It says, I have already collected data for my research project. Can you assist me in data analysis? If so, what is the procedure to inquire such services, data analysis assistance?
Okay, as I've mentioned before, the researcher must just write an email to STATKON at AC. Then he ask for assistance with data analysis, and he mentioned clearly that you've already collected the data, and whether the data is captured or not, would want to know that information. Attach your proposal, attach the questionnaire which have been used to collect the data. Then you get allocated to a consultant. Then the consultant will come back to you and engage you. Then the process will begin from there.
There is another question again in the chat box. So it says, with activating SPSS, can assistance be through a team viewer or appointment has to be at your offices?
You make an appointment to me, specifically me, because other consultants, they they don't assist with that.
There is a hand raised by Joseph. You may unmute and speak.
Okay, so those are my numbers for those ones who want to contact me direct. I'm not an email person, so if you want to query something direct to me, you can call me on those numbers. Okay, another question? Another question or comment?
There is no questions in the chat box.
Can I just give a comment? I just want to say that this is a much needed services for us researchers. I really want to thank all of the consultants and Dr. Anesu for their hard work. And I trust that we will have a fruitful journey onwards. Thank you very much.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Thank you. Yeah, there is a hand. Yeah, you may speak, ma'am. Primrose.
Okay, hello. I just wanted to ask, when I joined this, I thought maybe you were offering sort of a short course, sort of a refresher course, so that we know how to do it ourselves. Do you offer such courses so that students will be able to empower students so that they can do the analysis on their own and then the capturing and everything? Hello?
Okay, for the next 3 days, we do have something like that. Tomorrow, we are going to do what we call questionnaire design for quantitative data analysis. So in that workshop, in a nutshell, we are going to be teaching you how to design a questionnaire such that it can be suitable for quantitative data analysis. Because for you to come to us once you've missed designing your questionnaire is not proper. So we are going to teach you that tomorrow, and it's going to be a lab session. Then on Wednesday, we are going to teach you how to use SPSS. So that will be like introduction to SPSS. So that will be a lab session as well. Then on Thursday, we will cover the basic descriptive statistics analysis for both categorical and continuous data. So those are sessions which we do to empower you in using the SPSS on your own.
Okay, thank you so much on that one.
So we do
Sorry,
those. So we do
Dr.
those.
Anesu.
Yes.
Sorry, can I just ask Primrose if she's registered to the next 3 days?
Exactly.
No, I wasn't registered. I only registered. I just saw the link and then I just registered. I thought it's a one session. It's one session only. Yes, actually, I didn't know that it's a continuous session.
There were 2 registration links there, but so we sent, just for everybody, if everyone's listening, we did send out the calendar invites to whoever registered, and I see that only half of it has accepted. So
I haven't received anything. Sorry, I haven't received anything in my inbox because I used the link that was sent on our PhD group. That's the link that I used to join for this session, but I haven't received anything for the other upcoming sessions. Yes.
So if you only use, there were 2 links. So you only signed up with 1 link.
Okay, so it means I have to go back to that invitation. So will I be able to join for the next coming sessions?
So here's the thing, because it's a physical event, on the flyer it stated there was only 60 slots, therefore there were 2 registration links. And we've already sent out the calendars for the 60 slots already. But I'm looking at the calendar invites now. Only 30 people have accepted. So by 12 o'clock, what I'm going to do is I'm going to email whoever, let's just say, okay, whoever is still interested in coming for the next 3 days, can you email RCD inquiries?
Okay, you're saying you're supposed to be there physically. It's not an online thing.
No, it has to be a physical thing. Because then there's
Okay.
the downloading of the SPSS. So what we did is we booked out the computer labs.
Oh, okay. Now I get it. Okay, thank you.
So if anybody's still interested in coming tomorrow, just email us on RCD inquiries. We are going to take a look at the number of people that come, and then we'll email you guys if there are spaces over there.
Yes.
But this is now closer to the time. So tomorrow's session starts at 2. And it's on APK campus. So what I'm saying is, you guys, whoever's still interested, I'm putting in the RCD inquiries email, and then I'll take your names down. And if we see that there are people not pitching up, we are going to email you to come. And then I see if somebody receives the IBM UJ for completing the training. You would receive a certificate, but from the Research Capacity Development Unit stating that you attended the 3 sessions. This is not a formal certification for training, but it is one done by RCD, so you'd get that. Sorry, I think somebody's mic is on.
Please unmute your mic.
I think maybe I'll mute that person.
Yeah, I've unmuted.
Okay, so yeah, just that was the certificate question, and then yeah, please email us. I see one email coming through. Okay. Okay.
There's some more questions.
I see if I'm in Pretoria, by what time will you notify us? I've sent a reminder to the participants to accept the calendar invite now, so I could only let you guys know by 10 o'clock tomorrow, to be honest, because now the people have signed up and we did email them, so I don't want them coming back to us and be like, I did sign up. And now you've given my slot to someone else who didn't sign up. So I will promise by maybe 10 o'clock, I will let you know in the morning. Because people are coming back from, I guess, recess as well. So they might be going through their emails still. And then Anesu,
Yes.
you see all these other people that are wanting sessions over here. Maybe we can arrange something else for them at a different stage. But not like the one we're having now.
Okay, the lab which you are going to use tomorrow, it will be able to host how many participants?
It can only host 60 people.
Okay.
And 60 invitations have already been sent out.
Okay. Okay, so you know that some people, they do apply, but they don't come. So I'm not sure how you are going to do it so that they don't disadvantage those ones who really want to come, because in the previous sessions, people would apply, say they are coming, they register. But now when we're in the session, we only receive like 15. So let's have serious participants. Then also, in case of other content which is not going to be covered by these first 4 workshops until Thursday, I think they are also welcome, I think, to write you requesting for that. Then we'll see how we can accommodate them.
Okay, so we have 2 plans in place now to email the people by 10 a.m. tomorrow. Just to let you guys know, the training is at APK campus. And then the second thing is for another session to be held, but not the same type of sessions, just a different type, or maybe a refresher. Am I right? At a later stage?
Yes, it's okay.
We have other questions, but Lawrence is moderating the session, so I'll let him carry on.
Okay, thank you.
Lawrence?
So there's a question that says, this one is directed to RCD. Can one download the recording, experience problems downloading the recordings on model platform? There wasn't a provision for downloading the recording.
Okay, maybe I should answer that. There isn't, because now, what's this thing? UJ and Moodle have this thing where the recordings have to be uploaded to YouTube. So you're not allowed to download any YouTube videos. That channel doesn't allow that. So you can only watch it via using that link.
Yeah,
This,
via the YouTube.
unfortunately, this was a UJ ICS thing. All videos are now on YouTube. And that's what the links are inserted into Moodle. So it's not able to download, because previously we were able to, and now we are not.
Yeah, so we have uploaded all the videos on the RCD YouTube channel. So if you have missed probably any session before, you may go to the YouTube channel and you'll be able to access the YouTube videos, and also from Model, as we put in the links as well, you'll be able to access them from there. But there's no option to download now.
Let me run through this chat. Somebody asked when is the next cycle of similar training? So I think we answered that. We will get back to you guys depending on how these 3 sessions go. And we also run them yearly. For people who only attended this online session, yes, you will still receive the certificate for this online session. It'll be separate from the physical ones. Anesu, this is a question for you. How in-depth is the SPSS training? I think you also kind of covered that. We're doing descriptive analysis tomorrow, then the use of the SPSS platform the next day, and was it questionnaire design? Yes.
Yeah, then quantitative data analysis.
From what the participants will receive, they'll be receiving a booklet, and Anesu takes them through that booklet to develop their own questionnaire. Then they apply it to SPSS the next day and use the descriptive statistics on the last day.
Yes,
Somebody,
that's true.
Maseko asked how should they come tomorrow. I think you just email us on RCD inquiries. If there is space tomorrow, I'm going to let everybody know by 10. There's a question on, I have downloaded SPSS before, but that license expired, so it doesn't allow me to use the latest license. What should I do?
Okay, I'm not sure, depending on the location of the person. If the person wants to use that SPSS license in tomorrow's workshop, it then means that the person needs to contact me directly. I think I've provided my contact number so that we can arrange to assist.
Yes, I think also somebody said I said tomorrow's session is at 2, but the invite says the tomorrow's session is from 3:30 to 5:30. The questionnaire design for quantitative data analysis. Yes, the invite is from 3:30 to 5:30. So that is the time for the meeting. Apologies.
Sorry, I mixed up the times between the
Yes.
days. Some starts at 2, the other starts at, but the ones on the calendar invite are the correct times.
Yes, so tomorrow starts at 3:30.
And there will be an attendance register at the venue. I'm just saying in case people pitch up. So I'm going to write a list of who has registered, who I have contacted just in case, so that it's fair and we give the people that we called the slot. We give the slot to the people we called.
Yes, and for the certificate generation as well. Any other questions? You can raise up your hands. You can type them in the chat box if you have any questions. So I believe everybody's sorted. Would you like to add anything, Dr. Anesu?
Okay. I think we are fine. For tomorrow's workshop until Thursday, I think it's important that maybe if you want to use, because I think the reason why we are doing it in a lab is because some of the presentations, there will be exercises as well, which we're expecting you to do. So maybe it's nice that for those with their own laptops, they can actually bring them so that you can be doing the work on your own laptop. But if you are bringing your own laptop, it then means that you need to make sure that the SPSS is installed before tomorrow 3:30, so that you can benefit from those exercises. Yeah. And another issue is with SPSS, it's very, very important to practice. If you attend, then you don't practice, it will just evaporate that information. So it's very important that you practice. So by doing some of the things on your own laptop, it will help, because if you do it obvious on the computer lab, without even saving it onto your flash. So maybe we can say those ones without laptops, you may need to bring some memory sticks so that once you do your work, you can save it onto the memory stick so that you can practice even after those sessions for continuity purposes. So I think then I shall also provide related material for those workshops as well in advance, including the document which I was going through today. I'll also make sure that it reaches you so that you can go through it. So in a nutshell, I think that's what I wanted to share with you.
I see there
And
was
just to add to Dr. Anesu's thing, he has done these sessions with us before, and some of the recordings are on our online community for those who haven't or won't be able to attend. It's under, if you go onto the Moodle community that you are registered to for RCD, it's under the past workshop resources. Let me just check here. Sorry, I'm just getting the exact.
There's a hand by Primrose.
Okay. Sorry for keep on coming back. I'm one of those who won't be able to attend because I'm not in South Africa at the moment. But if I go through like those previous those previous recordings, trainings that have been done in the past, and if I have questions, will they be able to help me online? Maybe to book a meeting, then they can explain one or two things that I may not be able to understand when I visited those previously done work. I'm directing this to Dr. Anesu.
Okay, Primrose, we can only help you especially if you have got a registered project with us.
Okay.
Yes. So in general, to teach you how to understand SPSS or whatsoever, we don't. But if you register a project with us, then pertaining that particular project, we can assist you even if you are not based in South Africa. As long as you are registered with UJ and you register with us in terms of a particular project, we can be able to assist you online.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, sure. And I think also I've shared my number as well, if you want to ask some particular things.
Okay. Oh, thank you. I think I will take you up on that one.
Okay, thank you. Dr. Pillay and Lawrence?
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
I just want to stress something. To those that we will be emailing at 10 tomorrow, just remember this is now a contingency plan. The people before that registered will have to get first preference to avoid anger and stuff because they did follow the correct channels. However, we would like everyone to get a chance. And unfortunately, you'll have to understand that we can only email you at 10 after we've seen how many people have responded to our reminder email. And also, just to, Aneso is agreeing to do another session at another time. So we are trying just to raise everyone's concerns. We are trying to address them. That's it. Otherwise, don't worry. At some point, we will have to arrange other sessions. But I'm good. Lawrence, you may carry on.
Okay. There is another question from Lisedi. They have their hand raised. You may unmute and speak.
Good afternoon. I noticed that most of the people that have been spoken to either doing their masters or PhD. So if I'm doing my honors, is this session still relevant?
Lesedi, yes, the sessions are relevant even to you because you are also a postgraduate student. And basically, if you are planning to collect your data using questionnaires, so tomorrow's session will be important for you. If you are going to be using SPSS, which means Wednesday session is going to be important as well. Definitely in every study, we use descriptive statistics. So which means Thursday will be also a very important session for you. So if you are able to get space, then yes, why not attend? Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Sure.
Any other question? Yeah, so see, Dr. Shande says, as one of the stipulation requires students to attend all 3 workshops as they are all linked. So would appreciate it if you attend all the 3 sections as they'll all be linked. Thank you. I don't know if there's anything else that you want to add, Dr. Chandre, Dr. Anesu, before we may probably end the session.
Personally, I think I'm now fine.
I'm also good.
Okay. So without any further ado, I would like to thank all the attendees and Dr. Anisu for the presentation and facilitating this session today. Here at RCD, we really appreciate your efforts and hard work. And everybody else, all the participants, thank you so much. And on that note, I will end the session. Thank you so much and have a good day.
Okay, thank you. See you tomorrow for those ones who are coming physically to Oden Park. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.